Hey community, welcome back. And if this is your first time here, I'm Dr. Blaire, a doc in clinical psychology. And on this channel, we discuss psychology, inspiration, social justice, and all topics in between. First things first, hit that subscribe and bell button. I need to see you back next week. And of course, stay tuned because we're going to continue our conversation from last week. Keep watching. All right, so before we jump into this, just to let you all know, I did pre-record this the week before. So I wanted to make sure that I did these things back to back so that you all had a lot of continuity in the content that's going to be shared. So let's just kind of continue the conversation. Last week, we talked about goal setting and making sure that we are doing things with purpose, that we understood the why of why we're doing this, evaluating if we need to, resurrect some abandoned goals. And as we're setting new goals, make sure that they're long-term, set up in long-term, short-term chunks, as well as we're matriculating the process and really focusing on transforming our mindset that majorly influences how we accomplish goals or not. So let's kind of continue the conversation around a mindset shift, because we also mentioned that the common denominator is seek. Our seek is powerful in accomplishing goals. Well, that's still going to be needed, but even in our seek, we have to be flexible. Come on, say it with me. Flexible. And with flexibility, which is not always so fun, let's also, I'll be honest, I'm one of those folks that being flexible is not always the thing that I'm 100% running to, especially when I have my mind set on it's got to be this, and this is what I sought it out to be. I know I'm not the only person. Come on, drop it in the chat. If I'm not the only person, I need to hear from you. But again, I'm going to glance at my notes so that I can give you all some organized information. So bear with me if I'm not looking directly at you. I'm still here with you in the conversation. So some of the things that I was thinking about is with flexibility, there are 3 key points that are really needed in order for us to accomplish a goal. And those 3 points are not necessarily in the exact order, but I'm going to give it to you in an order that I feel like is actually really important. First thing is you need time. You need time to accomplish a goal. Most goals don't just get accomplished overnight, right? I know in this going viral era, a lot of times we feel like things could happen overnight. It could, but most of the time we need time in order to accomplish a goal. 2, we need direction. We need to know which way are we going, and that's where that goal setting really comes in place. It gives us an opportunity to say, okay, I'm headed this way or I'm headed that way. And lastly, we need a process. Now, we've all heard the phrase trust the process, but I believe that time, direction, and process are all needed in order to accomplish a goal. Now, keep in mind that as we have already set our goal and we have time, direction, and a process to help us to accomplish a goal, here are some things that may actually derail us or, put us off our trail or may shift the direction specifically. Now, you all know I'm a believer in Christ, so a lot of the time I'm speaking to believers from a biblical perspective. God, who directs our paths, who guides our feet, he may come in and say, you know what, I need you to go a different direction. That does not always mean that the goal has changed. And I know that it's kind of difficult for us to wrap our mind around it. Just because he shifted our direction or the way that we're going to get to that goal doesn't mean that the goal has changed. And I want us to make sure we remember there's quite a huge distinction between the two. Why? Because I'm from Chicago. I may be headed downtown, but depending on what area of the city you're in may really impact how you get downtown. In fact, from whatever point in the city that I'm in, it might be multiple ways I can take to get downtown. That is the direction. And while you're going in one direction versus another, you will experience the process. So God may come in and say, let's go a different direction. Something else that may shift your direction is circumstances in life. I mean, come on, life happens. An emergency comes up, a crisis comes up, something comes up with your family, things that are unexpected, and it may shift or throw you off of your path a little bit, and you may feel like it's a derail, but it is something that could shift your direction again. That doesn't mean that your goal has changed. And lastly, the amount of time that you have may majorly shift your direction, because you may think, you know what, I have less time to accomplish this goal versus this goal, which means I need to choose the quickest path, the quickest way to get to this goal and accomplish it versus another. And your time, your circumstances in life, and God may majorly shift your direction. Again, that does not always mean that your goal has changed, in which goals need to be authentic, in time, and purposeful. These are 3 points that are really, I believe, solidifies when a goal is supposed to be a goal in life. I hope that made sense. If it didn't make sense, I'm so sorry. Goals need to be authentic, in time, and purposeful, because you have an unauthentic goal, you being shifted into a different direction, you having less time or more time, all of those things may actually shift where that goal is on your priority list, or even if it's on your goal, if it's unauthentic for you. If it lacks purpose, you may forget about it quickly and easily if you're thrown off path and you're not focusing on it. If it's no longer a target on it. So I believe that you need authenticity around this goal. You need it to be purposeful. And when I say in time, I mean in season. I mean that it is the time and the season for you to move forward on that goal. I now cannot have a goal in the same way that I had that goal in high school. I'm a different person now. I'm at a different place and season in my life. So these are 3 things that may actually impact whether that goal is there to stay or it's going to stick or not. If it's anchored or not. Think about how it being authentic, it being in time and in season, and purposeful for you. How those 3 points majorly shift those other 3 points that I just mentioned around what helps you to accomplish a goal: time, direction, and a process. Think about it. And lastly, I want to read this for you. The flexibility that we need in our mindset, it actually helps us to maneuver this entire process. However, it doesn't change the target goal, as I mentioned before. The goal only changes if you decide to change it. Now, I know some of you as believers have just said, well, what if God changes it, tells us to do something different? He changes our assignment. He says, actually, this should be your goal. That's true, but it is still up to you to decide if you're going to agree with him, if you're going to get on the plan with him, with his will and plan for your life or not. It is your decision to change it versus not. You have the power to do so. And so as you are being flexible, not only with the process, not only with the direction, not only with what the goal is, the flexibility is more so needing to be ingrained in your mindset, as it positively impact you on your journey in goal accomplishing. So just a quick reset. Flexibility in our mindset helps us because we are not only accomplishing goals and we're focusing on our target goal, but it also helps us to determine if we need to change our mind about a goal. And the things that may shift our accomplishment of goals may be around our time, direction, and process, but we need to make sure that our goals are authentic, in time and season, and purposeful. They all work together, all core ingredients, all contributing factors that we must consider. Now, some of these points may not even have anything to do with you. That is fair, but it might just be that one thing that you needed to hear. And I pray that that is the case. If you took away just one thing, if so, drop it in the comments. Go ahead and share it with someone and give this video a like if anything in this video spoke to you. Again, I pray that that is the case because there are so many of us who really need some help around how to accomplish goals. And we end up feeling very stagnant and or feeling like we regressed, which I talked about closer towards the end of last year around the process of movement. And I'll find that video for you and place it at the end for you to watch if you'd like to. But there are some of us who need help around this, and I consider it to be a gift to be someone who's really focused on accomplishing goals. And because of that, and because I know that this is an area of success, I wanted to be sure to share it with all of you. So I will see you in the next week's video. We're going to talk about something similar, not quite the same, but make sure that you're tuning in for me to see you. And I could not go without giving you an announcement around our wellness workshop that's going to be held online January 14th. Again, the information is down there in the description box and at the bottom of the screen. If you'd like to join us, there's limited seating. Again, I'm pre-recording this, so at this point it may be full. If it is full, I'm so sorry, but make sure that you're staying connected with me on all social media platforms at Dr. Blaire for Facebook, Instagram, and Clubhouse. And of course, subscribe here so that I can see you again. But I will have more information, more workshops, more events popping out for you all to join so that you are maintaining wellness in your 2023 and years to come. But I'd love to have you for this workshop and or future events. And of course, I am expecting to see you back here next Wednesday. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Share with your community, and be sure to share with someone specific who may need to hear some points that were shared in this video. And of course, remember, before you go, and I see you next time, if I'm great and you're great, then we're a great community.